What's up, everybody? I hope you're all having a good day and a good weekend. Welcome to another video. I can't stop playing Heavensward. It's too good. It is. You weren't joking. You weren't when you said, you know, it gets so much better. Just wait. You weren't wrong. It gets so good, and I can't stop playing it. I've streamed this like 4 days this week, maybe. I can't stop playing it. There's so much I want to do outside of it that I have been trying to do as well, but the story is just gripped me. So this is going to be another big one, I think. Let's get straight in to Heavensward Part 2. First things first, I just want to say a massive thank you for all the support on here, on YouTube, and on Twitch. I noticed the other day that like the very first video we did, the Final Fantasy XIV first impressions after 15 years of WoW, that, you know, the iconic first video is nearly at 200,000 views. So if you've just joined this adventure, this community, and you're here now, thank you so much for getting involved. If you've been here since the start or somewhere in between and you're still watching, thank you so much. It honestly means more than you know. And anyone who likes, subscribes, or leaves a comment, it really helps these videos out. So thank you so much for everything you do. This channel is, I make the videos, but it wouldn't be growing without you all. So thank you so much. Other than that, Heavensward's incredible, and there's a lot to talk about. So let's get straight in to Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward Part 2. So in the last video, we picked up all the new classes, and now it's time to learn the new systems. So one of the big systems in this is the ether currents, which I'm trying to get my head around. It seems like you pick them up out in the world with the compass, and then you also get them from quests. So I'm trying to knock these out as I go through the zones, and I guess you just do the MSQ, pick them up, and do the side quests, and then you unlock flying. So that's what I've been trying to do. It seems like a really good system, and it's so much better than World of Warcraft, in my opinion. I don't know what it's like when the game first comes out. Like, are these ether currents like in the game on day one of the release? Like when Endwalker comes out, we'll be able to fly from day one? Or is it like World of Warcraft where they release it like a year later once you've walked around for a year? I'd love to know how that works. And then another system that I kind of like is this clan mark. So you get like a hunt mark, and then you go out and you kill the monster and you get tokens. I've got no idea what you do with these Centurio seals yet, but I've been getting a few from killing these monsters. And yeah, and I guess like the hunt log seems to be gone. So there's a hunt log, and I've completed it up to like level 50, and that's kind of gone now. So are we just doing the clan marks now? These are like a daily or a weekly killing monsters. But yeah, the hunt log's gone. So I don't know if that's like a replacement or a separate thing, or yeah. But yeah, should I be saving my Centurio seals for something? Is there like gear or mounts, or I'm not too sure. Nevertheless, it's a pretty cool idea to go out. It reminds me of like the old Final Fantasy games where you could do that. And then it was time for the very first dungeon of Heavensward, which, yeah, really cool. So I think I really like the zone of Curtheus. As a Dragoon, I got to go there a little bit more than the normal player, probably, in ARR. And I really like it. Stone Vigil still remains one of my favorite dungeons from ARR. You know, the castles and the dragons. So going into Dusk Vigil was big. It was just as good as Stone Vigil, except it's like icy and cold, but you're still fighting like these cool dragons in like these ruined castles. Such a huge fan. I love the aesthetic of Heavensward, and everything about it just fits the style of game I like. And then one thing that I really like about these dungeons is something that I noticed in Tamarara, Deepcroft, is these notes that give you this more like this lore of the dungeon. So this was had like a dark story about, I think something that people turned into zombies or they ate people. I can't remember now because it was a few days ago. But yeah, there's like a really dark story with the commander of this dungeon. And he either turned his people into zombies or he started eating people, and it was really dark. And I really liked the added lore in the dungeon. Something that World of Warcraft always lacked was the lore for the game is never in the game. So either the lore is in a quest somewhere in a zone that you've not been to, or the lore is in a book. But the lore here is in pages throughout the dungeon that people can walk up and read as you go through. And I really like that. And then you finish it and you feel like you finished a story rather than just killing 4 monsters, like killing 4 bosses. So yeah, big fan of this. The final boss was like a big griffin, which was cool. But for me, the best boss was the one before it. So Yuhulmrik, because this was the one that they were talking about in these journals. I think this was like the undead frozen knight. So cool. It reminded me of like a mix of like demon dragon souls mixed with like Game of Thrones, you know, the frozen zombie people from Beyond the Wall. So yeah, I really like this dungeon. I've only done it once, but I already want to go back and do it again. The fight was cool, the mechanics were cool, and the aesthetic is just 10 out of 10, top tier. I could sit in here all day. Yeah, huge fan. Can't say enough good stuff about Dark Vigil. I like to re-edit this. Dusk Vigil, not Dark Vigil. And then one thing I've been doing every single time I go live on Twitch to stream, every night I try and do one extreme ARR primal. So we've so far done a couple, and today it was time for the big boy, the big fish, the big Leviathan. This was hard. This was hard. The fight itself was pretty much okay. The hard bit is that you get swiped off into the sea, and it's bye-bye. It's just game over. Do not pass go. Do not collect any experience. You're out the game, bro. No revives. You're just gone. You just got to watch your team from the sidelines. So yeah, this was challenging. It's the first time I think that I've seen that mechanic. I think I've seen it in a hard mode dungeon somewhere, but people are saying Titan's worse. But yeah, for this one, you don't look where you're going, and you're just out the game. And if you lose a couple of people early on, you're just not. You're not going to do it. So this was really fun. I'm loving the extremes. I'm loving the challenges. And I think when I was first doing the primals, there was always that feeling that it was over too fast. That's not the case when you do them on extreme. We've been doing them on extreme, usually minimum eye level as well, and they last a long time. You wipe a lot, and we can sometimes spend like an hour trying to clear one extreme primal. So absolutely loving this, but it's so embarrassing when you fall off the end.
Hello, how are you? I am under the water. Please help me. Here too much raining.
But then eventually we did get there. We did finally pull through and come together as a team, learn the mechanics. The big ones that got us was the knocking off the end. I think other than that, we're pretty much okay. People seem to know how to handle the orbs. People knew how to handle the sphere in the middle. I kind of learned it towards the end as well. And yeah, generally we were okay. It was just falling off the end. Once we got on top of that, we were able to clear this pretty well. And this was a really good. This is up there. This is one of my favorite primal fights. Shiva's probably number one. This is maybe number two. This is really fun. And then people wanted to flex and show me what you get for finishing, for getting the mount on this. So yeah, I in World of Warcraft, I was a big mount collector. I like to get the mounts. I love collectibles. I would say collectibles, mount collecting, minion collecting is above doing these savage, no echo, hardcore fights. I love collecting and just doing the fun side of the game. So I can see myself definitely going and collecting mounts like this. And then I've got a controversial statement, really. I don't know how I feel about the Hildibrand questline. For weeks, like 3 weeks, people have been telling me, do Hildibrand, I want to see your reaction to Hildibrand. I did the first episode on stream this week, and I really don't know how I feel about it. It didn't grip me. The humor just didn't sit with me. I really don't know. I feel like I'm letting you down by not enjoying it. But maybe the first one's a bit dry, but yeah, here it was. Here was the first one. I don't know. It felt like kids' cartoons, and yeah, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. What do you think of Hildibrand? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you just indifferent? I'm kind of indifferent. I didn't dislike it, but I've got no, like, I don't feel the urge to go and do episode 2, which everyone is asking me to do. So yeah, I'm really conflicted on Hildibrand. Am I missing something? Does it get better? Do I need to just have a couple of beers before I do the next one to loosen up a little bit, maybe? I think when Heavensward is like 10 out of 10 top tier story, it's all I want to do. And the thought of going and doing a Hildibrand quest just feels like, I don't know, I'm just not drawn to it. So yeah, please let me know. Am I weird? I don't know. Have I got no sense of humor? I did do the first episode, and the premise is he's like a inspector, but he's kind of like a bumbling, a bit of a fool. He's a bit of an idiot, and you have to kind of pick up for him and do kind of the inspection work for him because he just isn't great. And he's like this foolish guy, and it's. I mean, you're seeing what's happening here. If you've not done the Hildibrand quest line, this is the humor all the way through. And I don't know if the whole thing is like this. it's going to be a struggle for me to get through because it really just isn't my humor. And yeah, I'm sorry if I'm letting you down. If you're expecting some amazing reaction, like me belly laughing to all these scenes, it was more on the border of cringe than humor to me. And I just couldn't, I don't know, I just couldn't loosen up and laugh to it. I just was kind of like, yeah, come on, let's get on with this. I don't know. There are parts of the game I do find really funny, but this style just wasn't for me. I'm really sorry. I'm going to try part 2 and maybe it'll grow on me. But yeah, I'm sorry. One thing that I have found fun, I don't want to use the word addicted, I'm just going to use the word enjoying, is Chocobo racing. I never really gave it a good try, but with the whole like Golden Saucer event going off, the extra experience, I've been sat here a lot in the Golden Saucer waiting for these 20-minute events. So while I've been here, I've been doing some Chocobo racing, leveling the Chocobo up, feeding it some greens, getting it all like good, and getting the ranks up. And I've been doing a ton of Chocobo racing. I do find Chocobo racing quite confusing because there's a lot it throws at you at once, but my understanding so far, and I'd love to know if I've got this wrong because I probably have, but you rank up to 40 and you feed it and you learn an ability. And then when you get to 40, you're supposed to breed it to have a pedigree child, and then it will inherit some abilities and skills, and then you get it up to 40 and do it all again. Is that it? Like, should you stop at 40 and instantly breed it? Because that's what I've done. Or should you keep going to like 80 so it's got the best skills? Yeah, what's the best way to do this? And then is there anything I'm missing? Like, is there like a meta build that I should be looking at? Or I'm just kind of going stamina and speed and breeding it as soon as I get the chance. So yeah, I'd love to know if there's some like great technique I'm missing out on, or if it doesn't even matter, like, is it like so minor that I shouldn't even have to worry? Yeah, I really like Chocobo racing, so I want to be the best. Yeah, let me know, please. But after playing it for like 3 solid days, like pretty much weaving it in between the Golden Saucer events, I got to rank 40 and I instantly retired the Chocobo. So you retire the Chocobo and you get a form of all the Chocobo's stats, I think. So yeah, I did that, and then the Chocobo's gone, and then you go to some little, you go to like a farm, and then you breed it. So here he is, Winged Spear, the first ever Chocobo. Goodbye, old friend. You served me well. There he goes. But the circle of life continues. Here's the new one, the breeded pedigree Chocobo, which should inherit the skills of the parent, I think. I really don't quite get how it works, but you can kind of see here the stats. You've got like parent and the parents, and then the pedigree, and then the stats and the ability that they've inherited. And yeah, not quite fully understanding it, but I'm racing this new pedigree and it seems quite cool. I'm not sure if I've got it mistaken, but I think when you breed, you then have 2 ability slots. I could be wrong on that. Yeah, I really need to go and read some sort of Chocobo guide, I think. But yeah, the Chocobo system, if you haven't tried it, it's not that hard to get into to start. Just feed it and get to rank 40 and have fun. It's really, really fun. I've been getting some friends together and going in like all 8 of us and just racing together. So yeah, absolutely love the Chocobo system. Such a cool, fun little side activity. Completely unnecessary, but so fun. And then it was back to the Heavensward story. So first you go to like this Mog home where you work for the Mughals and you work for like the King Mog person, and you have to do some chores and stuff like that to gain their trust. And then they give you the horn so you can summon and speak to one of the elder dragons, which was so cool. And this is kind of where the story went from intro to Heavensward to, oh shit, we're in Heavensward now, boys. So yeah, this was really, really good. It led to a really good area. And then I do just want to say, like, I love the cast, like the characters they put in the start of the Heavensward story. So ARR was good, but one issue I had with it is there were so many characters that they threw into every cutscene, to the point where there'd be a bunch of Scions, a bunch of Crystal Braves, some more main characters, and then maybe some side characters, and they'd all join in and they'd all have their own personality and story, and they'd all try and get everything across to you all at once. And it would be like you'd spend 5 minutes with one character and then 5 minutes with another, and I struggled to get that deep connection with some of the characters. Some I've really got attached to, and there were some really sad moments, but some it was definitely hard to feel the connection they wanted you to feel. And I think it's done so much better in Heavensward. Whereas coming into this, everyone that they give you has so much personality, from the people in Curtheus, House for Temps, and then your characters you play with. You've got Alfinor, who's got an amazing personality and his story's really getting good. And then you've got these two conflicting characters. You've got Yzael, like the Ice Heart, Lady Iceheart, who is just like this epic character who she's kind of like going on this religious belief because she's got this connection to Shiva. And she's formed a bunch of heretics with her ambition to do what she's got to do. And then on the opposing side, you've got Estinian, who is fueled by his purpose in life is to kill the dragons. So he's got this anger, this like dragon rage to kill this dragon because it's his destiny. But he's doing it to protect Ishgard. And they've both got, you can both see where they're coming from, and you can relate to both of their journeys and their goals. But they hate each other in a way because they're both trying to do different things. And I really like what they did here. I was so invested in this whole story from start to finish. I mean, it's not finished, but from start to where I am now. And yeah, this is one area where sometimes I've read the text twice. Sometimes I've like gone back into my recordings to see more things of like things I might have missed. And I really, this is like a 10 out of 10 story so far for me. And then you get the dragons involved, which obviously has an amazing story. You start to learn the dragon side of the story. Shiva gets pretty much broken here with the news they get. And yeah, I think how they do the dragons and how they make you relate to the dragons and you actually feel empathy for the dragons is so good. Like, you've got to have good writing and good storytelling to be able to feel every single side. Like, you relate to Estinian, you relate to I can't remember his name, Yzael, and you relate to the dragon. And then in the way that Final Fantasy XIV always does, it's a big sidetrack time. So all the dragon stuff kind of goes on hold because you're trying to reach the next area, but you kind of have to take a step back while you wait for something. And that leads you back to Uldar and back to the whole story of Nanamo, is she alive? And you know, they kind of make it obvious from the tells they give that she is, but now you just have to play the game of how do you go and find her and bring her back to life? And of course, at the bottom of all this treachery and mischievousness is Alala. And then this game has a lot of sad moments where you just want to get angry or cry or throw something around the room. But it was so nice to have this touching, heartfelt, feel-good moment, like a wholesome moment. Raban calms down, he gets the potion, and he goes and brings Nanamo back from her slumber. This was so cute. Yeah, this was such a good and happy point of the game, and it was just so nice to see. Oh, what a good game! So cute. I really like this moment. This is definitely one of the better moments, and it's nice to see her upside from the really sad ending of ARR. And then we went fishing. So yeah, of course, what a better way to celebrate than to go fishing with our trusty Tonberry. And yeah, I hadn't really done any fishing in Ishgard, so I took the Ishgard fishing quest for level 50, put on the trusty fishing hat, and off we went. We had to catch like 3 high-quality ice fish in these ice pools, which was pretty cool. I love how every area has a different type of fishing game, and this one was ice fishing. And then for finishing this, it actually took ages to do, but for finishing it, you got sky fishing unlocked, or cloud fishing, or something like that. So next, we're going to be doing that. That's the level 55 quest, which we have to do. That'll probably be in the next video, because I haven't actually got around to doing it yet. So yeah, fishing is still fun. Fishing is still addictive, and I still fish every day. And fishing has almost taken over my main class. It's like the second highest level class I've got. And then it was time for a new trial, the very first trial of Heavensward, which was an absolute banger. If this is a sign of things to come in Heavensward, I'm so excited. This was so good. You get probably one of the coolest cinematics so far in the game, an actual primal v primal fight. So you get Shiva versus Ravana, which is so good. This guy is just so cool, so like evil looking. I really like the design of him. And obviously, Shiva is one of my favorite characters. So this was epic. I did feel Shiva was a little weak here. But I guess that just shows that I suppose we're in a new area and the primal's getting harder. I would have liked to seen Shiva deal some like big damage, like maybe take one of his arms off, or maybe like critically wound him before the fight. Something like that. But yeah, Shiva took a beating here. The fight itself was really good. It reminded me a lot of Titan, how there's like lots of telegraphs on the floor. You can get blasted off the edge and you're in like this round circular room. It did give me like big Titan vibes, like this big character that can knock you around the room. Yeah, I really like the fight. Really good. Titan's a great fight, so it's not a bad thing. This was really good. As I always say, I do want to see this on Extreme. Like the hard modes are good, but you normally do them on the first or second time, and you don't see all the mechanics. And if the mechanic does hit you, you don't die. So yeah, we did it minimum item level on hard, and I think we did. And yeah, it was so fun, so good. But I do want to go it again and learn the mechanics like on a proper level where I know what they all do, and I get punished if I miss them. I love the extreme modes. So yeah, I say it every single time. Trials are one of the best things about this game, and more of them is just great. Like I'll take more trials, line them up. I love the trials. So yeah, amazing. On to the next one, right? Also, I like how with the primals, it's not always just big bad boss, kill it, move on, which is what it always is in World of Warcraft. What you have in Final Fantasy XIV is there's more relationships and more personality to your enemies. So like when you fight Ramar, he sets a challenge. You beat me, you get this. I'll let you do this when you beat me. You beat Odin, and it's like you weren't fighting Odin, it was the sword. And same with this, you made a deal with this guy that if you beat him, you'll get what you want. And I really like that. I think that's such a cool... and then, you know, you got the Shiva, she's got her own story. And I really like that each primal is becoming more than just big boss, kill it. So yeah, big fan. Big fan. And I'm probably going to wrap it up here, everyone. If you've made it to the end, thank you so much for watching all the way through. Thank you for sticking with this series for so long onto this Heavensward area now. I really do appreciate it. If you have liked the video, dropping a like or a comment does really help out. And if you want to see more, subscribing to the channel will get you notified when the next episode is out. These are coming out like every 3 to 4 days now. I don't want you to think that's because I'm not enjoying putting them out. It's literally just time. Like I'm enjoying the game so much that I'm streaming it more. I'm playing it more. I will link my Twitch down below. If you ever want to come hang out live, maybe do some dungeons or just watch stuff live, that's going to be down below. Other than that, take care, everybody. We've got some big stuff coming, some dragons, some more extremes. I want to get through Heavensward. I'm not rushing it, but I do want to get through it because it's so good. So I will catch you in the next one in a few days. I might put some videos out in between, some different videos. Other than that, take care. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next one.